Hi there, I'm Melissa Moody, co-founder of Wednesday Women and executive producer of The Ripple, bringing you a special series of episodes where we sit down with the incomparable Glo Harris. Glo has spent decades coaching and mentoring leaders at the world's most iconic companies, Google, Facebook, McKinsey, LinkedIn, Atlassian, Amex. And she's been kind enough to share with us the perfect mix of therapy-infused depth and executive insight. Her candid wisdom hits home on every level: how we work, how we lead, and how we show up for the people we love. So if you're looking to grow as a leader and as a human, come join me and let's get real with Glo. In this final episode of our small series, Glo gets straight to the heart of one of the biggest blind spots for rising leaders: the power of asking for what you need and acting like a CEO long before you're given the title. So I'll start out with the question, what blind spot holds mid-level and senior women back from reaching the next level?
They're not thinking about asking for what they want. Too many women think all they have to do is do good work and the Lord will promote them. The boss will promote me. Magically, I will get a raise. Magically, I will be invited into the meeting. I need to advocate for myself. I need to say what I want. It's been 18 months since I've had a raise. I expect on this cycle, based on the work that I've done, that I'm going to get 20%. Or it's very difficult for me to not be invited to this meeting because I hear about things secondhand. I'd like you to consider, or I'd like next time to be invited to the meeting. I must advocate for myself. Ask for a mentor who happens to be in my field to say, I really need more help. Can you think of anybody either in the company or outside the company that you would set me up with? Mm-hmm. Would you please invite me to the next event? Or I want a budget to be able to join a group like Wednesday's Women. Mm-hmm. I want time to attend conferences, and I want that to be covered. I must advocate for myself. Nobody's just going to give me something out of the goodness of their heart.
And asking for what you need doesn't mean being forceful. Glo addresses this point with a few statements that she listed out when thinking through what she might consider the timeless truths of leadership.
Know that if you're leading a team that's only 2 people, instead of saying to yourself, I'm not making enough impact, say to yourself, I have no idea how the pebbles, the stones, the little stones that I am giving to these 2 people, I have no idea what happens to them when they get thrown in the water, how big the ripples are that are created. Speak your truth in a kind way. Candor with care. Seek to understand before you get understood.
Next, I wanted to hear Glo's take on managing up, and she reframed it in a way I've never heard before.
I want to always think of myself as the CEO of the company that I'm working in. How would I behave differently if I really had the mindset that I am CEO? So it would take away all my deferential behavior. It would take away all my making appointments through the secretary, because that's how it's done. Eliminate my making excuses for myself. It would eliminate my asking for permission. My daughter has a dentist appointment this afternoon. Is it okay with you if I leave? No, you take the daughter to the dentist appointment. Don't ask permission. To me, I'm always managing up. It means that I offer ideas to my boss's boss. It means that I initiate skip levels and not worry about what my boss is going to say. I don't ask permission to speak to my boss's boss. I tell rather than ask. So I tell my boss, I've made an appointment to speak to Andy because I want to know him better, not May I please?
Listeners, part of stepping into your power is dropping the habits that diminish your authority. The apologizing, the softening, the self-deprecating disclaimers. Glo calls these the derailers.
I think it's more proving to myself that I belong than it is proving to others that I belong. Because if I'm the kind of person who says I'm going to do something and I do it, I deliver. If I am, so that would be being reliable. If I'm also show that I'm bright enough to offer my opinions with candor and care, I'm going to be seen as a person who can build trust, be reliable, show up, do their thing. If I'm a person who's open enough to be vulnerable and know that building relationships matter and do that, others will see me being reliable. I think what gets more in my way is me. Me not dressing appropriately, looking appropriate, being unafraid to say my truth, being filled with, excuse me if I ask this question, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but these sorts of self-deprecating things that women tend to say as they're afraid to enter the conversation, those are the derailers. And that's teachable, trainable.
Finally, we talked about a tension that so many leaders struggle with, balancing empathy with authority.
It's kind of a circuitous route back to the other question of what's the difference between a good and a great leader. I think a great leader is one whose mindset is making others better, shining the light on others. A great leader is one that doesn't need credit for everything, is not so insecure. There are many CEOs that are very, very insecure. There are many CEOs that are very authoritarian, like, say, Jack Welch, somebody like that. There are also CEOs who get the most joy out of promoting the gifts of others. Great leaders catch people doing things well and spend much more time telling you specifically about how you owned it and how well you did, rather than pointing out the nit that you missed. Great leaders, if they give feedback, they don't just say you did a great job, because you don't know what that means. When I saw you on stage looking at people in the eye and choosing not to wear high heels that clink all over the stage, I was blown away. Tangible feedback.
Thanks for tuning in today, and don't miss the rest of our series with Glo, in which she gives real talk answers to the questions you're probably already asking. If you enjoyed the show, please consider leaving us a rating that will help reach more listeners. And be sure to listen to other full episodes of The Ripple, spotlighting the stories and success of extraordinary executive women every week.